90.3 WHPC now presents Law You Should Know. The law affects every aspect of our lives, our home, our jobs, and our recreational activities. Now, learn about the law and how to protect yourself against the loss of your liberty or property, and learn how to stand up for your rights and seek compensation when you have been wronged. Your host for Law You Should Know is attorney Kenneth J. Landau, a past dean of the Nassau Academy of Law, and frequently lectures to lawyers on ethics and avoiding problems with clients, and to the public on how to choose and use lawyers. This is Law You Should Know on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hi, this is Ken Landau, and welcome to Law You Should Know. Today, my special guest is the new president of the Nassau County Bar Association, Sanford Stringer, and he is the new president for the coming year, and he's going to tell us about what programs are available to lawyers and the general public in Nassau County, but all over the New York area, especially if your travels take you through Nassau County. Congratulations on becoming the president of the Nassau County Bar Association.
Thank you, Ken, and it's great to be here.
I do want to mention he's a partner with the law firm of Salamon, Gruber, Blaymore and Strenger, and we'll find out a little later what kind of work what areas of law he handles. As we start out your presidency, what goals do you have for the Bar Association in the coming year, especially as we are emerging from COVID?
My major goal is to re-engage our membership and to bring them back to Domus, which is the home of the Bar Association. It's a building which is located on 15th and West Street in Mineola, right next to the Nassau County Executive Building. And it's a historic building that was built back in 1931 to resemble an Inn of Court from England. So it's beautiful stained glass windows and a slate roof, and really acts as our home for the lawyers and judiciary of this county.
And there are many resources there in the building for lawyers and also for the residents of Nassau County or others who want to learn about the law and receive useful information. But what are some of the things that you would like lawyers to take advantage of, both young and not as young?
At this point in time, I think that it's very important for lawyers, young lawyers, law students, and even experienced practitioners to re-engage with each other. The collegiality that is present at Domus really adds tremendously to one's area and enjoyment of the practice of law. We have approximately 60 substantive committees that range from animal law to a brand new committee on cyber law and cybersecurity. We've also have this year a brand new committee for law students to be participating in our bar association, as well as the usual real estate, real property committees, bankruptcy committees, and any other areas of law that members are interested. We also offer tremendous outreach to the community, as you say. We have a community relations committee that holds events and educational programs for the public. Last year, we instituted monthly meetings at the Freeport Library, I believe it was, where we sent lawyers to the library and met with the public on different topics, and they were able to ask general questions. We also have our Access to Justice Committee, which holds at least once annually a open house where any member of the public can come to the Bar Association and meet for free with a lawyer.
And the Bar Association does have lawyers available to speak to groups about a particular area of the law, and even going to the schools to speak to students at different levels about the law?
Right. We are very involved in all levels of the schools in Nassau County, from elementary school all the way up through high school. We run mentoring programs where we have lawyers go into the schools and mentor one-on-one students, those students who need assistance, and just someone to talk to. Educationally, we run through the Bar Association, we run a student competition for high school involving moot court and moot trial. And we even went down to the elementary school where they came and had teams on, I believe it was a Dr. Seuss skit, where the young students each prosecuted and defended a claim, and ultimately the successful students in the competition were in the Supreme Court, Nassau County Court, and tried their case in front of an actual judge of that court.
And you try to, if a school needs a lawyer or a member of the Bar Association acts as a coach for that team, if they don't have a teacher available for that, you will try to match them up with someone.
It's usually for those programs, and it also includes at the law schools, but for the high school programs, usually there is a requirement of a teacher at the high school, and then there is a coach with that teacher who is a member of the Bar Association, attorney, to help the students with their expertise. I mean, I had the pleasure of, many times judging those events, and the students are just unbelievably good.
All these services you mentioned are available for free if it's an organizer for a group, a business group, a community group, an advocacy group. Right. You'll try to find a speaker to match their needs. Correct.
So recently, a Chamber of Commerce contacted the Bar Association and was seeking we have an Academy of Law that our director is Stephanie Ball, and contacted Stephanie looking for a speaker on cybersecurity. And we were able to provide actually two attorneys who are expert in that area, one of whom runs a cybersecurity company as well as being a lawyer, to speak for free to the Chamber of Commerce on those emerging issues.
How have you found, even before COVID, that civility and the practice of law has evolved or changed over the years, and maybe since your earlier days as a young lawyer?
It has changed somewhat. To that extent, it is the doing remote lawyering has taken the profession back a step. While it has been helpful with access to justice and the ability for lawyers to more efficiently and economically service their clients, it also takes away the camaraderie where you can see another lawyer outside of the adversarial system. So you might be arguing with them in front of a court, or arguing with them in front, trying to negotiate a contract. But when you walk out of that room, you're able to speak with them about the softball team that you're both on, or your child's flag football team or soccer team. And that creates a connection between you, that will help you move past moments where there might be tensions from the situations that you're dealing with.
And there also might be a way to get advice and support for some office issue or some legal issue you're confronting, to get ideas.
All the time.
And to make contacts, maybe as a way to get cases, or a way to get a job, or a way to just get to know other lawyers out there.
One of the initiatives that for this coming year that I am bringing back into the Bar Association now that we're past the COVID, is networking events. and we're going to be running monthly networks of smaller groups of our committees and diverse members. So we will have the real members of the Real Property Committee, members of the Trust and Estates, members of the matrimonial committees get together and just in a social event meet, have hors d'oeuvres, and just talk with each other. And that way, for attorneys, it is the ability to generate business. I do commercial litigation and corporate work. If I don't know a matrimonial issue and I have a client who may have a need for a prenup, I go to my Nassau County Bar Association directory and look at the names of the people there so that I know who I could refer my client to better serve them. By doing the networking, I'm able to meet with them, know their faces, have an understanding about issues going on in their practice or in mine, and there is commonality. Most of our practices on Long Island are small practices under 5 attorneys, many of them single practitioners still, and need that additional information and support, especially in this technological world.
And I just want to remind our listeners that we're talking about the Bar Association of Nassau County and the many services it provides to the general public, organizations, and also to attorneys who live or work in Nassau County. And we're talking to the new president of the Nassau County Bar Association, Sanford Stringer, and she's a partner in the firm of Salamon, Gruber, Blaymore and Strenger, with offices in Roslyn Heights. I think you're right. The networking is more important, that personal contact for lawyers, because a lawyer may be working on their own. They may be working on interesting issues. The committees you mentioned are too numerous to go through, but members are encouraged to join committees, maybe ones they work in or others they're interested in. It's a great way of networking, and
it's free.
And it's free.
Once there's a member of the Bar Association, there's an annual fee, which is not a great fee compared to other bar associations. And our membership dues include your continuing legal education requirements. So every lawyer in the state, in order to maintain their license, is required to take a certain number of continuing education credits, and they include credits in ethics, now in technology, as well as substantive areas. And by being a member of the Bar Association, we provide through our Academy of Law and through our committees, all of the opportunities for the lawyers to receive and fulfill their CLE requirements. Last year, our Academy of Law ran over 150 programs and gave out over 10,000 certificates to lawyers to help them evidence their completion of the programs.
And in addition to learning, it's a great opportunity to network as well.
Absolutely.
And meet other lawyers. And you never know, it could lead to cases, it could lead to jobs, it could lead to just a people you can contact if you have a question or concern about something.
Or an expansion into a new area for a practice that you might have been thinking about, that might have interested you, and you can then attend committee meetings, speak with those practitioners, learn what they do, and get the information and experience that you need in order to enter those new areas of law.
And support. And the Bar Association is there to support and educate lawyers and I guess also the general public.
All the time. And, for example, one of the initiatives that that we've begun for this year during my presidency is trying to train lawyers to be able to provide services to veterans. Our veterans need Many of them need assistance. There is a justice gap for our veterans in many areas that are not commonly known. When they separate from the military, there is a certain form that they need to have completed. And depending on what that form and how that's done for them means what benefits they have. If they are still in the reserves and they leave, have to go on duty for 2 weeks or 6 weeks or 6 months, or even many veterans served during COVID. Those two have issues, and we're now undertaking a program to teach lawyers those areas of law so that they can come back and help serve our veterans on pro bono. And on the flip side, even in their own practices, there are specific benefits to that veterans gain, and let's say if they're in a divorce situation or a family law issue that they need information for. So attorneys can help in that way in gaining that knowledge, and we're trying to educate our own members and also educate the public as to what rights are available for veterans and how we as lawyers in this association can better serve them.
And the Bar Association from time to time also has programs to educate the general public about their rights and programs to support them in terms of mortgage foreclosure, sometimes consumer law clinics, and other lawyer referral services. If they need a lawyer in almost any area,
correct.
You'll help them find a lawyer.
We have a panel of our lawyer referral service. If the public is looking for an attorney and does not know where to find one, they can call the Bar Association. Our number 516-747-4070, and they can ask for our lawyer referral service. We have attorneys available. We actually have staff who will take the phone call, help the individual identify what type of lawyer they need, and then would refer to that individual, I believe it's 3 lawyers, for them to interview and speak to. And there's a reduced rate for the initial interview for the public. So if they don't know where to find someone, we're a great source to doing that.
And the Bar Association also helps or houses the 18B program?
Correct. So the 18B program are the assigned defenders for the indigent defendants, and we supplement the legal aid. So if there are legal aid and some of the other criminal justice defense programs, if there are conflicts and they can't represent 2 defendants, those defendants get referred to our 18B panel. We have over, I think, 250 attorneys currently on our panel. They are, if the individual qualifies on financial need, those attorneys are provided for them for free. We also have attorneys who do appellate work for indigent attorneys. And as I say, we have attorneys every day in the criminal courts. In addition, our 18B program has experts available to them, to just as any other criminal defense attorney would, in order to fully service and protect the rights of those indigent defendants.
And attorneys young or more experienced can contact the Bar Association and find out about joining those panels. Correct.
They're available. They would be contacting Robert Nigro, who is our director of the Nassau County Assigned Defender Program, and he would help them learn the area to the extent, we do look for experienced criminal defense attorneys because these are serious rights, but we also mentor attorneys who wish to get more experience in the field. Our assigned defender plan provides for continuing education for the attorneys on our panel, and most of these attorneys are extremely experienced criminal defense attorneys who provide these services, at a reduced fee than they would otherwise do. So it's a public service for these attorneys.
I just want to remind our listeners, we're talking with Sanford Stringer. He's the new president of the Bar Association of Nassau County, and he's been describing many of the services available to attorneys and to the general public through the Bar Association of Nassau County. He's also a partner in the firm of Salamon, Gruber, Blaymore and Strenger, with offices in Roslyn Heights. And you're listening to Law You Should Know here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College in Garden City, New York. If you missed any portion of the program or you want to tell someone else about it, just go to the podcast at nccradio.org, and you'll also find podcasts with information about many other areas of the law at that site.
So I just add, Ken,
sure.
we one of the services that the Bar Association provides is the alternative dispute resolution services. And we have experienced arbitrators and mediators, and these are the same mediators and arbitrators that provide services to the large alternative dispute resolution firms, but they do it at a reduced rate because they are providing a public service and they're working through the Bar Association. And that way for the public or for attorneys, we're providing them with resources for their clients. Most cases, 95% of the cases in the courthouse don't go to trial. And based upon a lot of the backlog in the courts due to the volume, and a lot of the volume because of COVID, we need the alternative dispute resolution to get these cases settled earlier.
And that's something the attorney members can also qualify to sit on.
Correct. The attorney members can qualify to be part of the panels, and they can also then have additional revenue, additional experience through those panels.
And networking opportunities, as always.
Correct.
And you yourself, the Bar Association also provides the public with services in terms of resolving fee disputes. And you used to head up that panel. But just briefly explain how the Bar Association can be of help to a member of the public who has a fee dispute with an attorney in Nassau County.
Sure. So we have what is called our conciliation committee, and it is a committee that's composed of volunteer lawyers who we usually have 3 attorneys on a panel, and they act to arbitrate the disputes, fee disputes between attorneys and their clients. We don't charge for that service. The clients can contact Jody at the Bar Association, request a intake form if there is a fee dispute. Most attorneys do want to resolve the fee disputes if they can in a non-litigated manner. In fact, under the law, an attorney cannot sue a client for a fee until the attorney has availed themselves of one of the programs in arbitration, and that really falls under cases that are over $3,000 in attorney's fees, up to $50,000 in attorney's fees.
And I guess the client or attorney can have an attorney represent them at those proceedings.
Absolutely, and many times the clients do, or the attorneys do. Many times clients do not, because they don't need the attorney there. They present their information, the bills. They are given a forum for them to discuss in front of the arbitrators why they feel that the bill that was presented to them by the attorney is not justified, and each of the arbitrators are skilled and experienced in reviewing those bills and trying to find a just result for both.
Okay. And lastly, I just want to discuss the We Care program of the Bar Association, the charitable arm. Yes.
And that's a jewel of our Bar Association. We Care is the charitable arm of our Bar Association through fundraising involving attorneys and non-attorney who participate in a lot of our fundraising efforts. A large one that's coming up this September is the annual golf outing and tennis outing. And although, that seems, kind of old school, it's a wonderful event if one plays golf, if one plays tennis.
It's also good networking. There's a dinner at night. Someone can just go for the dinner.
The dinner is absolutely wonderful, where there are over 500 people present at and attending that. And those monies will all go towards the charity. The charity, our We Care Fund, has all of the expenses of the fund are picked up by the Bar Association,
right. And they help groups all around Nassau County.
We have all sorts of groups, from sled hockey to Mama's House to other organizations.
And very briefly, just tell us about your area of practice.
Sure. I am a commercial attorney. I have been practicing for about 40 years. And my area really is involving commercial litigation, corporate organization and formation, and real estate, commercial real estate transactions.
And I think we touched on it before, but the Bar Association also assists with homeowners in Nassau County and runs mortgage foreclosure clinics and programs.
We have a premier program of attorney. We have a professional staff for our mortgage foreclosure project, which is funded by the New York State Attorney General's office and grants. And we have attorney in the mortgage foreclosure parts in Nassau County to assist homeowners through that process, and volunteer attorneys supplementing that to assist homeowners who need help.
Okay. And just give us the contact information for the Bar Association one more time.
So our phone number is 516-747-4070, and our website is pretty simple. It's NassauBar, one word, .org. Once you get to that website, there are drop-downs for all of these various things that we do. There's one thing we didn't touch on very quickly, is our Lawyers Assistance Program. The Nassau Bar is one of only three bar associations in the entire state that has a professional social worker, a psychologist on staff that assists attorneys who have substance abuse issues and other issues.
And an attorney in Nassau County, whether a member or not, should contact the Bar Association for free assistance and referrals.
Correct.
Okay, I'd like to thank you for being on Law You Should Know. And if you missed any part of the program, you want to tell someone else about it, go to nccradio.org. And you're listening to Law You Should Know on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College in Garden City, New York. Please join us next week for another program on Law You Should Know.